All right, what is going on, everybody? I hope you're having a good weekend. I'm just kind of um, playing around with something today. Uh, so, in my search of trying to find particular things that are, made in America, I've been trying to find audio equipment and all kinds of stuff, just to support what I can around here. Um, Part of what I do is obviously art, and I tried to find some art supplies that were made here, and to be honest, there's not a whole lot. There's some gouache and some watercolor that I want to try out. As far as pencils go, General Pencil Company, I guess they've been around since, it says it right on their pencil, 1889. I guess they've been making pencils for a long time. I know I've seen some of their like school supply ones, but I've never actually seen like an artist pack, you know what I'm saying? So like all these graphite pencils in here are just the different gradients that you would normally see. Um, I got to play around with them for a little bit, try them out, just see what I thought. Uh, it comes with a plastic pencil sharpener, like most of them do. Like most people, I just throw these away. They're kind of useless and they break. It also came with a Factus plastic eraser. I don't know. I tried erasing stuff with it. It didn't work all that great, or at least not as well as these guys. Which, if you're looking for a good eraser, these Sumo grips are amazing. I love these. They come in a 3-pack. I mean, they're a little bit more expensive, but I mean, they last forever and they do a great job. If you want to remove everything, if you don't want to remove everything, I wouldn't suggest using them. But anyways, the kind of point of this whole thing, um, I've been using Staedtler pencils for a long time. It's what I've been doing all my drawings with recently, and to be honest, so these guys over here, the blue pencils. To be honest, I've been using them even like back when I was in high school and I was taking drafting classes. Uh, you know, you got your 2 millimeter lead. This thing is awesome to draw with. I love it. I got a 0.9 millimeter mechanical pencil. These are made in Japan, but still, Staedtler company, and it's solid aluminum. It feels awesome. Other than that, so the wide majority of what I have here are all uh, Rotring is another German company. I have Japanese brush pens. You know what I mean? So like, there's a lot of good stuff out there. It's just not all of it is from, or you know, there's not a whole lot from the United States. Um, I have my dip pen. These are Japanese as well. As far as like writing utensils go, it's hard to beat Japanese products. They're awesome, and they've been at it for a really long time. So, anyways, today I was just going to look at, how these, U.S. counterparts of the ones that are made in Germany kind of stack up. I'm used to these pencils more, so let's see. I don't have the same of every one, so I'll pick some common ones. So like HB, 2B, and let's go for the darkest, 8B. And we'll go one lighter. What the heck? All right, so 2H, 2H, HB, 2B, and the darkest out of all of them, 8B. Put that to the side. I know I have these as well in my Staedtlers. 8B, 2B. I got this fancy case. This is actually a whole like separate drawing kit that when I first started getting back into drawing, I bought because it had a bunch of charcoal and all kinds of other random things in it that I just ended up taking out and swapping for, you know, I replaced all the charcoal and everything with my fine liners and brush pens. The only thing that kind of is remaining from it would be my blenders for these kind of graphite pencils. and this guy, which is like a little sanding block if you wanted to use it like that. So you just rip off a page, sand a certain point down on your pencil so you can draw. I've mostly just been using this as a hand rest though, so it's worked out kind of good. Uh, but yeah, anyways, kind of get this out of the way. It's a good pencil case. You know, the entire thing was like 20 bucks. So yeah. Anyways, on the table as well, uh, like I said, I had my lead holders and my mechanical pencils, but today I'm just gonna look at these, and the general pencil also had a general layout pencil. Apparently this is supposed to be like one of their, it says, even says extra black on it if you can see it. I was kind of curious about this. It was like a fine liner pencil. You know, the lead seemed a little thick on it, so it seems like it might be cool to try out. Like I said, I already got to play around with these, so I'm just gonna like kind of doodle a little bit. So out of the lot of not only the Staedtlers but the general pencils, this is like, you could just buy this. You can get so many different kind of gradients out of this. So let's say, actually, let's give it something to compare to first. So we have, let's see, Staedtlers are blue. General Pencil Co. is green. Let's do 2H, HB, 2B, 8B, 2H, HB. I'm just going to do like a little blend of all of them. And like I said, I've been using Staedtlers for a while. There's nothing new about them. I like the lead. It goes down pretty smooth. It is a harder pencil. So whenever I'm doing this, I am using the most even amount of pressure that I can. I'm not going to be like some of the people that review these pencils and they just, you know, use the tiniest little light bit of scratching that they could possibly get out of it. I'm not going to do that. It's a waste of time. That's not how I draw. So it's almost dishonest. Yeah. HB, if you're not familiar with any of these uh, letters and numbers, it's just kind of a measure of softness. So your HBs are one of the more common styles of lead, and then as you go higher, like 2H, you know, it just, the lead gets harder, so it doesn't lay down on the paper as easy. Thus, you get a lighter mark. Um, Opposite, if you start going down the or up the numbers with the B's, it just gets softer, so the ink, the graphite lays down and darker. Excuse me. So as you can see, you can get pretty dark and pretty light. And then the darkest of them all, or at least of the set that I have, HB, or sorry, 8B. Once you start laying into it, you can get pretty dark. All right. So with those out of the way, we're going to go to the American counterparts. And these are also a little bit of a harder lead than I would say the Tombos, but I think they are less. See, I can't even. They're quite a bit softer than the Staedtlers. So let's see. Let's ignore that one for now. I feel like the second one that I drew was a little bit more honest to what the 2H could do. Like I said, these are softer than the Staedtler, so they're going to lay down. You know, the more pressure you put on them, the more they're going to lay down. I almost feel like they're kind of like a perfect balance between the two, if I'm being completely honest. Because it's Staedtler's, like, if you wanted to get darker colors, you could, but you'll completely lose, like, you flatten out every tooth of the paper as you do it. So like to get the certain blacks or whatever, even with, the two H's, you can feel it digging in quite a bit. These ones, like I said, a little bit softer. You don't have to push down as hard to get even coverage. So that's pretty cool. Let's see, 2B. Like I said, I'm just using enough pressure to get like an even coverage of what, I think these pencils can do. And then, all right. So graphite's kind of reflective. You can kind of see not too different, also dissimilar. You can kind of take your pick which kind of hue you like better. All right. Now this guy, like I said, you can get a whole lot out of this just this one pencil. So using that same kind of light pressure, this is a really soft pencil, so you don't have to go too hard. You can get, I'd say, around an HB, maybe a 2H, and a little bit more pressure, a little bit more pressure, right? And that's it's pretty impressive, if I'm being honest. And then same thing with these. Doesn't quite get up to a 2H as far as lightness. Sorry, my light is making this super reflective. But, I mean, it does dark for days. I will say I would put this around like a 6 or 7B. It's not quite all the way as dark as like if you press down hard with the 8B. I don't think it'll go that dark, but it is really cool. And like I said, the lead is thick on it. If you get a sharp point, you could just draw outlines for days, which is, I guess, what it's for. But you can buy these in like a 12 pack on Amazon for around $10, and you could just draw forever. Like you wouldn't even need any of this unless you're doing like portrait work or anything that you might feel is like super fancy. So going into kind of like the weight and the feel, I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell. I like the way, I don't know if it's like a different kind of wood that they use, but I almost like the way the Staedtler is sharpened. If that's not weird to say, uh, like the actual wood just feels like it's more solid with the Staedtler. But that's just an opinion. The paint is cool on these. I like the green and the gold metal tips. I think that's a nice touch with all the gold lettering and everything on it. Yeah. So kind of with that out of the way, I'd like to do a little drawing with both of them just to kind of see, you know, what we can make happen. Let's try to draw, say, a drum. So it looks terrible, probably. Cool. If any of you have ever seen a drum before, you'll know. Got a drum hoop. Kind of sticking up a little bit. Draw your cylinder shape. Sorry for the crudeness of this. I'm just, quickly laying down. Cool. So these are just to hold the hoops to the body of the drum. Boom, look at that. Nothing too fancy, right? I don't want to get these. Kind of fix the first problem I had with it. Doing a quick drawing here, guys. Nothing super fancy. Losing my point. It's alright though. It's almost done. And the lead on these is super soft, like it got dull fast. Alright, so I guess that's something worth noting. If you're just gonna buy these, keep a pencil sharpener near you. Alright, I'm gonna go with America first because it is America. Let's see here, 2H. Alright, so with the 2H, I'm just gonna take it and lightly color in the body of the drum. We're going for, I guess, an aluminum kind of finish. I know you can't really see my drum set and frame right now, but I have something similar to this color. I don't know why I like gray things, but I do. Mm-hmm. Well, while I'm doing this, I hope you guys are having a good weekend. I know a lot of people are still, there's a lot going on in the world right now. As far as music goes, there's a lot of good, despite even being in this kind of lockdown or whatever for a lot of people, there's a lot of good music coming out. I think the world is going to have to reflect heavily on what they deem as being, mission essential and all those fun words that people like to throw around. People are going to have to start like taking a second look at how to run things because, you're getting by without doing a whole lot. Like, you got a lot of people working from home, making the same kind of money. There's those of us that don't have that luxury, but it kind of is what it is. All right, so that's a 2H. Let's go to my next darker. Let's pick a light source. Sorry, my microphone just cut out there for some reason. All right, let's pick a light source. I'm gonna have my light coming from this away. So it's kind of an exaggerated. Your drum hoop is not gonna stick up that high to make that kind of a shadow, but hey, this is my drawing. I can do what I want. So I would put this next shadow right about here. This next shadow right about here. Cool. I'm not going into the shiny bits yet. You'll see that in a minute. I guess I'll do the bottom hoop too. All right. Next, go one darker, 2B, or not 2B. Sorry. It's really, I'm full of stupid jokes. All right. Here's 2B. Make my little rim light up here a little darker with it. And then a lot of these have rings that go across the bottom. All right. All right. All right. working now. 8B final grade here. It's coloring all that black that's in the shadow. Pretty cool. I always like going dark with these colors. Cool. All right. Actually, I'm gonna break out my little blender tool here. I can bring it up. Here we go. Let's see. Because these are so soft, they blend very well. Trying not to lose any of my detail here. Make this look like a dirty drum head. Cool. Here's drum number 1. I think it turned out all right. All right, let's move the old boys to the side and bring out my babies. At least they might stay my babies. I don't know. Like I said, I'm kind of partial. I've been using them for a long time. And Staedtler's just like one of those well-established companies. Like I said, I've been using them since I took drafting classes back in the day. Dreams of being an architect, and then realizing that those dreams would involve, going to school for years and years and years on end. And part of me just didn't want to do that necessarily. I was fresh out of high school. I wanted money because I had a car that I needed to pay gas for, and somehow, like, you know, that whole internship thing. I'm not sure how they make people work so long for free, but that's just kind of like the nature of the beast with that kind of thing. You gotta, I mean, just work and work and hope that, you'll get picked up by some company or whatever, or some like good internship that'll open the door for you, which, all the more power to the people that end up being able to do it, or like any kind of dream that you plan on pursuing. Like, if you can make it, it takes sacrifice, it takes hard work. Nothing happens overnight, and that's what a lot of people stop at. you know you kind of have to hit a point where the effort that you're going to put in is, you can't put that effort in anywhere else. You can't put that time in anywhere else. So you have to make that sacrifice. And it's a hard choice for a lot of people. With me, my whole music production thing, that's what I plan on doing whenever I get out, whenever I retire. If I can do that, the plan is to learn everything I need to learn now, and then eventually just, finish my time and retire, and not have to, well, not do this same kind of work. You know what I mean? Well, going back to uh, the pencils, I can say that, like I said, these pencils, the General's pencils, are a lot softer. I almost kind of prefer that in this whole case of blending, because, like, you can probably see if I hold it up closer. Uh, I know I already smoothed out one, but even still, before that, it wasn't as pencil scratchy as what the Staedtlers are laying down. It's just, man, this lead is super hard. Which, in something like this, it kind of helps, because once you let the point round out on this, you can just do, huge sketches or whatever. And because there's no point on it, it won't dig into the paper like most pencils looking at you would. So it's kind of like the opposite effect. This is my layout tool, and now, I got other cool stuff. I mean, look at this thing. I know these look cool too, but I don't know. There's something aesthetically pleasing, I guess, about this pencil or these pencils in particular. But yeah. Anyways, let's give this the old blend, and then I gotta finish drawing the. Oh man, these blend nice though. These blend really nice. It's like they're not soft until you start to blend them, and then they're just like, oh, okay. I guess I'll be a pencil now. It's kind of coax it into doing what you want with it. Let me draw. I think I used an 8B for this part. Okay, so like everything up until you get to, I want to say like the 4B in these. Everything above that is kind of a harder pencil, a harder graphite. But once you get down to it, like these get super soft. Um, it doesn't mess up the tooth of the paper at all, which, when you're kind of blending stuff to try to make it smooth, you kind of want. So I'm not adding any kind of favoritism towards one or the other. They're just kind of making a generalized statement. Yeah, there you go. Let me try to get this out of the shiny light. It's kind of hard to say. It really is. I'm definitely going to be using these a lot more. I might actually switch them out for a little bit just to get more and more familiar with them. I have more of a gradient range in these, but it kind of doesn't matter. I like the way these draw. I don't know why they get such a bad rep. Like, I know they're not the world's fanciest, but I mean, they work fine. This is the Kimberly set, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that before. General Pencil Co. Kimberly graphite drawing set. All of them have like little numbers, everything too. 520, 525, 555. But yeah, I would say, so these were a little bit more expensive. These were like, I want to say like 12, 12 or 13. Ooh, look, geez. Yeah, it's really thick. It's like a thicker pencil, so the lid is thicker too. I want to say that this set was like $12 or $13, and this one was $8. So I don't know if that's something from importing it or not, but there you have it. And these pencils, a pack of 2, I think it costs like a few dollars or whatever, $5. I just kind of like, I was interested in them, so I added them to the Amazon cart that my wife and I share, and yeah, she just like went ahead and bought it. I was like, oh, sweet. Definitely give those a shot. And I was wanting to kind of do it anyways, but it just kind of gave me more of a reason. Yeah, man. If you only wanted one pencil to kind of like travel with or whatever, like this would be fine. I'm just doodling real quick with it because it's kind of like a pleasure to draw with, really. You can get a lot of crisp, dark lines when you need them, and then light lines where you don't. I'm not sure. Like I said, I'm not sure why they gotten kind of a bad rep until you look at you know the reviews on Amazon. I don't know what kind of people are reviewing them or whatever. If they're students, if they're actual like artists, but yeah, I'm not exactly sure why people be talking smack. Let's see how well this one blends. Oh yeah, yep, that's good stuff. Yeah. I mean, what else can you say? Uh, like I said, this is the General Pencil Kimberly, and these are the Staedtler Mars Lumographs. Both great pencils. You can't go wrong with either one of them, if I'm being completely honest. Um, unless you're just super picky about one or the other. Uh, you know, these are good. I'm gonna keep using them, honestly. Actually, before I go, I'm gonna show you this bad boy, and I actually kind of want to see how each one of these erase. With the best eraser that I've used. So this was the Staedtler. Let's draw a big old line right down the middle of it. All right. So I like these because these plastic erasers just break away. That's what you want. You want that breakaway. So going through all the darkest parts, Staedtlers, they erase pretty good. You can kind of see the marks there still. See how general pencils do. Oh, they smear. They smear. They soft. Yep. I mean, once you put a little bit of work into it, they erase just the same. I don't know if that was a good test or not. But yeah, man, the general pencils are soft. I like it. It makes blending fun. Let's erase my eye here. See, look at that. It just kind of slides away. But yeah, cool effect of this. If you wanted to, like I do it a lot, I'll lay out my outline with pencil and then erase it and then go back in with like ink. So your fine liners or all of the I use paintbrushes quite a bit. I actually prefer using them for inking and doing all that kinds of fun stuff. Yeah. Anyways, that's probably all the drawing that you guys and talking that you want to hear from me. Um uh, yeah. As far as recommendations go, I'd give these a shot. And then if you don't like it, if they're too soft, if you do, I don't know, even with portrait work, like I was saying, these are so hard. Like you get lines unless you blend them with one of these, you'll just get lines all over the place, which might be good, if you're doing like skin texture, that kind of realism. But you know, if that's not what you need and you don't feel like spending, uh, however much these were, I can't remember. It was on Amazon and it was in a hard shell case. That's one of the last things. As far as companies go, they are both very long-standing companies. I would say that the Staedtlers pay more attention to detail as far as pencil making goes, and just production in general. Uh, Once you start getting into little nitpicky things, the Staedtlers, I've never had a Staedtler that had uncentered lead. I think a couple of these had it, which is fine. It was only off center enough to make sharpening it weird. Yeah, this one, I don't know. I don't know if this is even a good way to show you. It's like it's slightly to the off center to the right, but I digress. Attention to detail, definitely in the Staedtlers. Um, in the packaging, the Staedtler came in. It was like a hefty, uh, like plastic case that you could open and close. And then once you opened it, you could open it all the way and stand it up, and it would just have the pencils kind of like chilling there. So you could grab them and put them back in however you please. I didn't keep it. I should have for this video, but I didn't. So whatever. Because I got this carrying case over there. These came in this kind of like flimsy plastic tray, which is whatever. If you have a case, it doesn't matter. And all the Staedtlers were in order. when I got them. None of these were. They were just all scattered. So I had to put them in order. I don't know why it bugged me, but it did. Um, these, honestly, I don't even know why they put them in. This eraser is kind of not unlike, you know what I mean? Like, I guess you could define this as like a normal eraser. Good look. It didn't take out any of the outline that I drew with this thing. Whereas, you come along with the old Sumo, does a lot better. I love these things. But anyways, yeah, that's kind of what you get with it. I want to try some of their charcoal stuff now just to see. And I like, supporting the old American companies if I can. But other than that, I appreciate you guys sticking in for this. I hope you have a good rest of your weekend, and I hope you stay safe and healthy. All right, see ya.